Hey boos, hey, it is your girl, the Rising Phoenix Empath, coming at you from Maryland, and I wanted to jump on real quick and give you a quick nugget. Welcome to the Chosen One segment, and today's topic is 10 things that solidify a soul tie and a trauma bond. First of all, let me tell you the difference between the two. A soul tie can be godly, right? A soul tie and a trauma bond is basically a spiritual covenant with a person, right? Soul ties can be godly. You can have a godly soul tie to your husband, to your fiance, to your friends, to your family members. You can have a godly soul tie, but soul ties can also be ungodly in the sense that you're with somebody that God has not willed you to be with. And that person's just not supposed to be in your life. And so when you are connected in spirit, it is recognized as a soul tie. And when those things go terribly wrong and trauma is involved, it is also known as a trauma bond. Okay. So number one, first thing that solidify a trauma bond and soul tie is kissing. Right? I know it seems silly enough, but kissing is a very intimate act. And let's not forget, during intimate kiss, DNA is swapped. And once you exchange DNA with another person, I need you to understand that every time you swap DNA with anybody else, there is a change within your DNA. It's never the same, okay? It could be tainted, right? To a degree, especially if you are not supposed to be linked to this person physically or spiritually. Kissing can cause a soul tie, all right? Two, sex. Of course, sex. The joining of people. People literally become one. And that is why the wedding night is so very sacred. And it is said to wait until marriage before you have sex, because the bond that arises after a sexual release causes a soul tie. And it makes sense, right? That's why people are married, and you're supposed to be soul tied to people that you're married to. So imagine having sex with people that you're not married to and people that you shouldn't be connected to, right? And it starts as a soul tie. But again, when trauma happens and abuse takes place, the trauma bond is born, okay? Number three, plan making and future faking. Why is this so dangerous? This is so dangerous because when you make plans with people, it's a good thing when you're in a relationship and you're making plans with a person. It's not such a good thing when the person you're making these plans with has no intention on fulfilling any of the promises made, right? And so that's called future faking, and it's really a thing. And what it does is it defers hope. And we all know that hope deferred makes the heart sick, okay? Number four, investments. Investments of any kind. Money, time, and energy. And the more you invest in a person, you ever notice when people are with their significant others, right, and they're dating, the more they invest, or even married, the more they invest, the more determined they are for that thing to work. And it's because with every investment you make, whether it be financial, whether it be energetic, whether it be money, right? You are putting yourself in a place of giving too much of yourself away. And this is what causes you to go full speed ahead and become determined to make this toxic relationship work at all costs. And oftentimes that toxic relationship is non-reciprocal. Okay. Number five, betraying yourself and your boundaries. And a good example of that would be, you know, while, let's say you're dating and you have always said, I'm never going to support a man financially that isn't my husband, right? And then lo and behold, after a few months, you know, you find yourself doing things outside of your boundaries that you're comfortable with, but because of the emotion that you feel for this person and because of the love you may feel for this person, you ignore your own boundaries. You betray yourself. This causes a soul tie, right? Number 6, when your sexual boundaries are pushed to the limit. Okay, now this, we're getting grown folks, okay? An example of that would be, let's say, you know, you're a person who you will not have oral sex with your partner unless you're married, okay? That's just an example. And you find yourself doing things sexually that you're really not comfortable with, but to please this other person, you are allowing your sexual boundaries to be pushed, and this causes a soul tie, okay? Number 7, sharing intimate secrets and traumas. When you share secrets with people, when you tell them about your past, when you tell them about those deep, dark secrets, those traumas you experienced as a child, those things create a bond and a soul tie. And in some cases, it ends up being a trauma bond because you've entrusted the wrong person with your secrets. Number 8, love bombing. Love bombing releases a chemical called oxytocin and vasopressin. I think I'm saying that right. Vasopressin. I'm sorry. And what that does is it releases those chemicals and it makes you feel calm. It makes you feel euphoria. It makes you feel fulfilled, happy, safe, all of these good feelings, right? And when somebody love bombs you and tells you everything that you want to hear constantly, and it's a little bit more than somebody just complimenting you. It's excessive. So excessive that it's not authentic and genuine. But you're so caught up in the moment and in the season of quick euphoria. They're love bombing you, and it causes a trauma bond because it's releasing those chemicals in your brain associated with love. Okay? Number 9. This is another grown one. Number 9. When you look into the eyes of somebody you're having sex with as you are having a you know what, okay? As you are reaching your place of ecstasy and you're looking into this person's eyes, studies have been shown, studies have been done. When you look into the eyes of a person during that moment, it solidifies a bond within you. Right? And you are correlating them with this heavenly experience that you've had. And it is definitely a way to get you trauma bonded. And number 10, last but not least, abuse. Whether it be verbal, whether it be physical, whether it be psychological, emotional, or financial, any kind of abuse that you stay through, okay? And that you try to convince yourself is an abuse, creates a trauma bond. These are the main 10 things that if you find yourself doing, challenge yourself, hold yourself accountable, and get out of there, because you shouldn't be soul tied or trauma bonded to anybody. Until next time.